All right, who wants a shot? Quick shots.
Just a few short weeks ago, TY Hilton was left for dead for fantasy purposes. Through week 11, he was sitting at wide receiver 85. Players that were averaging more PPR points per game than TY Hilton, who was sitting at a nice 6.9. Kansas City's Demarcus Robinson, Danny Amendola, the legendary Kendrick Bourne, fellow washed-up star AJ Green, all averaging more points than T.Y. Hilton. But a lot's changed over the last few weeks, and you might be able to trust T.Y. Hilton going forward in your playoff starting lineup. Since week 12, T.Y. Hilton sits third in PPR points for the wide receiver position, behind only Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams. So consider your mind blown. And really, he hasn't had just one blow-up week that has inflated those numbers. He's been really consistent. The last 3 games, he's had a 4-catch, 81-yard day with a touchdown, 8 for 110 and a touchdown, and then the 5 for 86, 2-touchdown performance against the Raiders. Has enough changed, though, to be able to trust him? Well, when you look at his usage, the first 11 weeks, he only saw 13 total targets in the red zone. Wasn't being looked at a ton there on a per-game basis. He only caught 3 of those 13 targets, which isn't ideal. And he saw only 4 targets in the end zone and didn't catch any of those. Since then, his usage has changed a little bit. Granted, he's had 3 really nice matchups. Tennessee, Houston, and the aforementioned Las Vegas Raiders the last 3 weeks. In those 3 games, though, you'll see his usage has changed in that he's got 9 red zone targets in those 3 games. He's converted 7 of them, and he's had 2 end zone targets and caught both of those for touchdowns. Looking at the last 3 weeks, he's sitting on 23 total targets. It's a little over 21% target market share in that offense. It's not anything that seems unsustainable or a gaudy amount of opportunities that we think might regress a little bit. It's his usage in the red zone that has changed and increased his fantasy value. He gets Houston again this week, and he had a couple red zone looks against them a few weeks ago when he had a great game. Houston's given up the 8th most passing yards per game this season in the NFL at about 270. And even worse, over the last month, they're giving up over 300 passing yards a game. So the opportunity should be there for Phillip Rivers in the offense, and T.Y. Hilton is the number 1 option in that passing game right now. He's an easy start for me this week in the playoffs. And looking ahead to week 16, if you're fortunate enough to make it that far, I might even recommend starting T.Y. Hilton against Pittsburgh. I know it's the Steelers, great defense, but they've been a little bit more vulnerable against the pass since Bud Dupree went out with a knee injury a few weeks ago in the weird Wednesday night or Wednesday afternoon game against the Baltimore Ravens. They've given up nearly 300 passing yards to Alex Smith a couple weeks ago, and the Washington team had 2 different pass catchers that had over 90 yards in that game. And then they gave up 240-ish yards to Josh Allen last week, and we saw Stephon Diggs torch them for 130 of those. I'm starting T.Y. Hilton with confidence this week. Comfortable with him as my wide receiver 2. If he's a wide receiver 3 or flex, easy decision for me. And again, if you make it to a championship round in week 16, I think you can trust T.Y. Hilton, start him with confidence, and you can say thank you to me later.